Okay, this is my finger tapping drum machine. Basically, it's a MIDI triggered drum machine that I built, and I'll just do a demonstration and then talk a little bit about what I did. So, if we kind of zoom in here, get a look at the thing. Basically, it's an Arduino Mega board that I have wired up several FSRs, force-sensitive resistors to. The force-sensitive resistors are triggered by, I have just a little piece of metal flashing here with a bit of a rubber foot on the bottom of it. And I used these little triggers because I found that my fingers, when I would try and hit the pads, it could work and you could get some really good strikes, but often you would miss the center and you would be trying to hit it hard or trying to hit it soft and you would get the wrong reading because you're off of center. And these ones, basically, anytime I hit the metal part, doesn't matter where I hit it, the pad hits perfectly in the center. So you can actually map the amount of the reading that it gets, the force, to different velocities in MIDI and get a velocity sensitive instrument. So. So what are some of the cool things that I've done here? The snare drum I've mapped over two pads, so both of those trigger snare. The right one I added the upper layer of the velocity levels actually triggers a rim shot instead of just the regular snare. So it's regular, and then the highest level is actually a rim shot. So when you do rolls, you can get kind of a cool effect. Kind of subtle, but it changes up the sample a little bit. Let's see, hi-hat. I wanted to do, hi-hat I mapped over two of these pads as well. So this one is the closed hi-hat, and then this is the open. So when you sort of go between them, you get like an opening and a closing, much like you would from your foot. I wanted to actually have this little pedal here trigger the open and closed hi-hat, and I did in the beginning have that. So I would be playing the closed hi-hat with my foot down on the pedal, and then when I opened it up, I'd be playing the open hi-hat. But I found that the trigger would only register open or closed when you're fully off the pedal or fully on. And the timing just wasn't right, because in a real drum kit, you slowly take your foot off the pedal and you slowly get an opening as you do that. And so it was kind of messing up the performance. So instead of that, I used the pedal to trigger different notes from the pads. So the snare drum, regular or normal hit, I just step on the pedal and it becomes a roll. And the other one becomes always a rim shot when I'm on the pedal. Also, the crash cymbal, I step on the pedal and it becomes cowbell. Off, and it becomes a crash again. Ride cymbal, above velocity 120, I trigger the bell of the ride. So with one pad here, I can actually do two different MIDI notes, so you can kind of get a bit of feel for it, like you're hitting the ride. So originally I had built in a physical MIDI port here, and I connected that to a MIDI to USB converter. But actually using this software, this hairless MIDI to serial bridge, I don't need that anymore. I can just plug in the USB cable that I use to power the Arduino board, and the serial goes over the USB, gets converted to MIDI here, and it goes to my drum program, BFD2. My opinion, the greatest acoustic drum simulator that there is. Tons of options in here. And then, what else is there? Yeah, I think, I'm not sure if I talked about the Mega. I use the Arduino Mega because it has extra analog ins, and that means I can have more of these channels, basically. That's pretty much it. There's some cool stuff you can do in BFD. Like, for instance, if you want to kind of get a distorted drum sound, then you can throw on one of these filter mods and stuff stops working completely. I thought I had... Is it this one? Well, let's just pretend that something cool happens when I do that. Oh, here we go. Turn on this one and turn down the gain. That's really dirty. But anyways, that's pretty much it. Yeah.